Hi, everyone. Welcome to Ask Me Anything. My name is Acting Sergeant Good. I'm a recruiter from the Northeast region, currently located in Thessalon, Ontario. So, today we are going to be talking about one of the areas of assessment in the recruitment process, and one of those areas is fitness. So, to become a police officer, it's obviously essential to have a high level of fitness, especially when you're first coming in, you're going through your training. So, we are going to be looking at that when you're applying to the OPP. When you first apply, we're going to ask you to complete the fitness logs, which you are going to be submitting with your original application. So those fitness logs are seen right here. You're going to be getting a digital, you're going to be filling out. You're going to have to fill out 2 weeks worth of fitness logs and submit those with your initial application. On those fitness logs, you're going to tell us about the activities that you're currently doing. So, whether that's playing a sport, you're going to tell us about your running, your strength training, if you're completing any of the fitness testing that we are looking at, such as the shuttle run. There's also an area at the end, which is the pin test. We're going to go through that a little bit later in all of those areas that you will be assessed on. But again, that's the first part of the fitness component that we will be looking at when you apply. So, after you've submitted your application, we will be asking you to attend either a shuttle run event, so that's a 20-meter shuttle run that you will be completing at one of our events, or we will ask you to submit a video of you completing the 20-meter shuttle run and submitting it to one of our email addresses where a recruiter will be assessing it. So the 20-meter shuttle run is going to show us that you've got a very good cardiovascular endurance, that you can recover, that you obviously are able to tolerate some physical stress on your body. You run over 8 minutes to hit that level 7, which is a minimum requirement. And you're running 20 meters from one end to the other end, and the pace is controlled by an audio beep. So the beeps start getting closer together, and you have to hit that 20-meter and 0-meter line when you're running back and forth before the beep hits, or you can hear the audible sound. So you're going to keep on running until you can no longer hit that end line. And you can go past that level 7. You can stop at level 7 wherever you're comfortable. But again, the minimum standard is level 7. And in order to continue in our recruitment process, once you've submitted your application, we do need you to hit that minimum requirement. Again, we will be watching the video if you have submitted a video, or we will be watching you at one of our shuttle run events. So if you go past level 7, that is great. We want to see that you're able to go a little bit longer, and because fitness is the one area that you can actually prepare for in the process, and for your training when you go to the Ontario Police College, because you know that is a minimum level 7. So after you submit your shuttle run video, I already spoke about it before, you're going to be filling out these fitness logs. So on these fitness logs, again, we want to see everything that you're doing. Once you've already done your 2 weeks of the initial logs that you filled out, we're going to ask you to fill them out monthly and submit them every month. So that's from the minute that you press submit on your application until the minute you're hired, because we want to see that you are continuously being active, that you take your physical fitness seriously, that you're running, your strength training, and you really care about your fitness. Because obviously, the career as a police officer, it can be physically demanding at times. Examples can be having to help EMS moving someone from an area. It could be having to move, say, a deceased animal off the highway, things like that. You never know when you're going to have to use your physical fitness. Also, running. You might have to run at some point during your career. So we want to know that you're going to be physically fit and keep that up throughout your career. So after you finish your fitness log, we are going to look at your pin testing. So on the very last column of your fitness log, there is an area that asks for your score on the pin test. So this is physical fitness testing that police officers can do yearly and receive pins while they're actively members with the Ontario Provincial Police or any other police service. There's different components of the pin test. One area is the sit and reach, which assesses your flexibility. And then there are push-ups, which are going to obviously test your muscular endurance. There's the core endurance, which tests your ability to obviously have a vest and sit in a car a lot and have that belt that does have some weight to it on you at all times when you're working. And then there's the 20-meter shuttle run. So there's 4 different components. There is a scoring matrix that we will be providing you with. This is a set test that police services around the province do use. And there's different scoring matrix for males, females, and depending on your age. So if you want more information on that and you want to see an example of somebody completing the pin test, we do have an example on our YouTube channel under one of the Reach videos, and it does show you exactly how you would score it. Overall, what we're looking for when you're applying is that you're completing this pin test and that you're able to achieve the minimum standard, which is 75%. So that's adding up your scores from each of those 4 different areas that you have and components that you have completed and reaching that 75% overall. So again, have a look at our Reach videos. They're very informative. They are on our YouTube channel, and I think it's Carrie Schmidt that goes over the pin testing and the different areas that we are assessing and how to do it at home. So again, as you're doing your fitness log, make sure that you are trying to complete that pin test at least weekly so that we can see that you're continuously motivated, that you're able to reach that 75%. And that proves to us that you will be successful when it comes to the Ontario Police College. So let's turn it over to Sergeant Carrie Schmidt. We have one of our clips here that demonstrates the prep test. So what the prep test is, it's another way that we assess your physical fitness. And it is a test that you will be having to successfully complete at the Ontario Police College when you are hired by the OPP. So I'm gonna put it over to Carrie Schmidt, and we're gonna play a little video that'll show you what it consists of and what to expect when you go to the Ontario Police College.
All right, now let's dive into the physical readiness evaluation for police, also known as the prep test. While the prep test isn't required until you're enrolled in the Ontario Police College, it's important to familiarize yourself with the movements and expectations now, so you're fully prepared when you're tested at OPC. So what does it actually involve? Let's break it down. As you complete the test, you'll be wearing a 4-kilogram weighted vest and a 4-kilogram weighted belt, simulating the standard police equipment you'll carry on the job. Your goal? To complete 4 laps around a specialized circuit in under 157 seconds. During the first and third laps of the circuit, pull yourself up to look over a 1.9 meter wall, climb a set of stairs, and drop to the floor to crawl under the 61 centimeter barrier. On the second and fourth laps, the obstacles change a bit. Now you'll scale a 1.2 meter wall, run and touch the 1.9 meter wall, climb up and down another set of stairs, and once again drop to the floor to crawl under that 61 centimeter barrier. Then you'll head to the body control simulator and the arm restraint simulator. And the final challenge? You'll drag a 77 kilogram mannequin for 15 meters across a resistive mat and around a set of pylons. Each of these obstacles is designed to simulate real-world situations you may face as a police officer. It's about ensuring you have the strength, stamina, and mental toughness to handle what the job throws your way. This is a true test of your readiness for the road.
Awesome. Thank you, Sergeant Schmidt, for going through that prep test and what we can expect. So again, today's ask me anything. We are going to open up the questions now, and I'm going to kind of go through a few of them that have been asked, just to kind of go through any fitness questions that you may have. Again, this is it's very informative. Make sure that you are asking any questions that you may have regarding any of the areas of assessment, and specifically the fitness, because that's what we're here for today. So I see there was a question about how to train for these tests. Again, my suggestion for training for the shuttle run would be obviously practicing it. We do give you an audio file that you can use, use on some headphones. Map out that 20 meters, and whether it's in a building, whether it's outside on the sidewalk in front of your house, whether it's in a community center, wherever you can, set up that shuttle run, the 20 meters, and run back and forth. Listen to those audio tones, the beeps, and just practice running back and forth. Of course, the main thing is that you're out there and running. Again, it starts off slow. It's got a built-in warm-up at the beginning for you, so that gives you a chance to warm up at the beginning. Do some stretching, of course, before you start, but then continuously do that. So do that maybe 2 to 3 times a week in your training to become a police officer. It shows us that you're motivated. It shows us that you're continuously keeping up with your fitness, but just keep doing it. Practice makes perfect. That's my suggestion for the shuttle run for sure. And again, I find myself that good way to practice something like the shuttle run is go to an event. It's like any road race. Sometimes when you go in and race against other people or with the motivation of others, it can help you be more successful. So maybe go to a shuttle run event that's being hosted in your community. So on the OPP website, opp.ca/careers, at the very bottom, we have all of our events that are posted and going on throughout the province. We do have shuttle run events that we are hosting, and those are weekly, monthly, throughout the province. So have a look and see if there's one in your area. We do have recruiters that go out to these events and host them. And if you are successful in achieving level 7 at one of these events, we will give you a certificate. If you receive a shuttle run certificate, it's good for 30 days. You can submit it with your application, and you actually bypass the fitness portion, and we won't ask you for a shuttle run video, or we won't ask you for any other fitness other than your fitness log, which you will be completing monthly. Okay, just looking at some other questions we have here. So somebody that's asked about other physical activity tests while at OPC. So other physical activities, when it comes to training, if you're involved in any sports, things like that, please write that down in your fitness log. We love to see that you're involved in team sports. We love to see that you're, say, playing pickup hockey once or twice a week, or that you've been consistently playing a sport for the past little bit, or you've gone to do races in your community and what your times were. We want to know what your 5K, we want to know what your 10K times are, because those are things that you may be expected to do when you go to the Provincial Police Academy during your training to be a constable with the OPP. So other tests while at OPC. So there obviously is a physical portion when you go to OPC. Again, you will be expected to pass the prep test and complete it in under the allotted time, which is 2 minutes and 37 seconds. It's not a one-time test that you will be doing. This is something that they will work with you to be successful on. So when you first get there, you'll get an opportunity to do it at some point, and they will work with you. If you're struggling at completing the prep test, go and do extra sessions. There is plenty of time after hours when you can go and get the help from some of the instructors, or from some of the sergeants, staff sergeants, and other officers or other recruits that are there that can help you out and give you tips and tricks to succeed. In the end, when you get to OPC, the Ontario Police College, we will be giving you the skills and everything that you need to be successful. We want you to succeed. We've put a lot of money into you. So we really want to see that you are given everything that you need to pass that prep test. I've submitted my application along with the shuttle run certificate I got from one of the shuttle run events. It expired November 21st. Would I be asked to submit a video as long as my certificate has already expired? It expired after I submitted it. So as long as when you submitted your application, your shuttle run certificate was valid, so it was within those 30 days of when you first completed it, you should be fine. They won't ask you to resubmit a video, but at the end, when you are successful in the process, we'll be positive when you're successful in the process and offered conditional employment with the OPP, and you are told that you're going to a specific detachment, the conditional offer will be that you achieve that level 7 on the shuttle run again. So you will have a 2-week period at the end where you will be expected to either go to one of our shuttle run events or take a video of yourself completing level 7 again on the shuttle run, just so that we know that throughout the process you have stayed physically fit, you are still able to achieve that level 7, because that again is a minimum requirement. The reason we have you only complete the shuttle run throughout this process is because the shuttle run, achieving that level 7, proved to us that you should be able to successfully pass the prep test when you get to the Ontario Police College. Again, I know that Sergeant Schmidt explained to you that the prep test consists of doing the first portion of it and then achieving level 7 in the shuttle run right after you've just done that circuit. So you will be tired, you will be exhausted physically, mentally, probably from achieving or passing that circuit, and then you will be expected to complete level 7. So if you are struggling completing level 7 on the shuttle run, make sure that you're practicing, you're consistently running, you're working on your cardiovascular endurance, because you will be pushed when you have to do the prep test. And again, somebody asking if you have only one chance to pass the prep test. No. You will have many opportunities when you're at the Ontario Police College to pass the prep test. Again, if you're struggling, ask for help. We will work with you. Your instructors will work with you. We want you to succeed. Can you still attend an in-person shuttle run event while your application is active? And will the 30 days apply to the final shuttle run submission? So absolutely, you can continuously attend shuttle run events throughout the province. We love to see that you're willing to go to more than one and that you're staying physically fit. And every single time you go to a shuttle run event, make sure you upload, when you're successful, make sure you upload your certificate so that we know that you have gone to this event, that you were successful, and you can still hit that level 7 or above in the shuttle run. We love seeing that. The 30 days for your final shuttle run, there is a 2-week period where you have to attend a shuttle run in that 2-week period. It's just before you go off to your training at the Provincial Police Academy. So the 30 days will not apply to the final shuttle run. You have to go within those 2 weeks that we do give you the dates for. Somebody's asked if they apply to the OPP around March, but can't attend them, or sorry, around January, but I can't attend the March class. Can they attend a later one? Yeah, so if you're looking to go to, for example, the March class, January obviously would be, that would be pretty close. So 2 months from the time that you put in your application, that turnaround is pretty fast. My suggestion is if you put in your application in January, it's totally fine if you can't hit that March class, if that doesn't work for you and your family. Let us know while you're going through the process. Let us know that you have a family event or the reasoning why you can't attend that March class. Again, our process, we say, takes 2 to 4 months from the minute you put in your application to the minute you're offered a spot, but that doesn't mean that you will be attending the Ontario Police College within those 4 months or within those 2 months. It could mean that you're not attending it until 2 or 3 months after that. So that would be just until your offer of employment, those 2 to 4 months. So again, be transparent, be open and honest. Integrity is key throughout the recruitment process. So just make sure that you let us know what's going on in your life throughout the interview process, and when you're going through background, and we will take that into consideration. There's no stress about that. So do you have a choice of the shuttle or the 2.4 at PPA when you're doing the PIN test? So that's a good question. It all depends. I know when I went through, we did the 2.4 kilometer because everyone went at the same time. It just depends the time of the year, what the instructors choose. I know that for some people, the 2.4 kilometer is much easier than doing the shuttle run, and then the opposite for others. So it just depends on when you're there, what the instructors think. My suggestion is be able to achieve level or 75% and level 7 minimum on both. Then you're prepared. Again, fitness is the number one area of assessment that you can prepare for. You know exactly what these tests are: the PIN test, the prep test, the shuttle run. You know exactly what to expect. You know if you're struggling or not at these. It's the one area that you can be totally 100% sure that you can pass when you're at the Ontario Police College and the Provincial Police Academy. So set yourself up for success. You're going to be learning so much information when you're at the Provincial Police Academy and at the Ontario Police College, information about things that maybe you weren't aware of before. You're going to be learning about all the laws. You're going to be learning about how to deal with people. You're going to be doing defensive tactics. You're going to be learning how to drive and operate a police vehicle. You're going to be learning how to shoot a firearm. So there's all these different areas that you will be learning. Why not be great at one thing going in and know that you don't have to stress out about it? Because again, sometimes there isn't a lot of time to fit in extra training when it comes to the physical fitness while you're there. So just make sure that you set yourself up for success. Okay. As the weather is getting cold, any recommendations on indoor shuttle places that are free to the public that we can practice? You know what? There's lots of places that you can practice. I've seen people at local ice rinks just beside the boards running back and forth. I've seen people in community centers just going down a hallway. I regularly will look at the shuttle run videos that are sent into us, and I've seen people in their offices using a long hallway, mapping it out, showing us their 0 meters, 2 meters, 18 meters, and 20 meter measurements in a hallway, a small hallway, and they are able to do it. So don't stress out. There's plenty of places that you can do it. Just make sure you've got 20 meters total. Another area that surprised me, a lot of people are using underground parking. As long as it's not busy, of course, don't put yourself in danger, but that could be a place that you could use an indoor parking facility where you can set up your camera and audio file with the shuttle run audio and do it there. So that is an option as well. Do we have to do the PIN test before we go to Ontario Police College, or is it only once you get into OPC? So the PIN test is not a mandatory test that you have to pass when you go to the Ontario Police College. The only fitness component that you have to pass when you're at the Ontario Police College is the prep test. So that's that circuit that Sergeant Smith talked about, and the shuttle run right after it, and achieve that level 7 and do the circuit in under 2 minutes and 37 seconds. That's the mandatory and minimum physical fitness that you need to achieve at OPC. I'm not too sure if they're going to have you do the PIN test. They could, but I know that at the Provincial Police Academy, whether it's before you go to OPC or after, you will be doing the PIN test at some point. So just prepare yourself. You know that these are the tests. Practice them. Make sure that you're able to achieve the minimums. So I have somebody mentioning they've been doing fitness logs for 3 months. Great job. Is it better to submit more to show that that they've had improvement? Yeah, absolutely. If you've been keeping those shuttle runs for the past 3 months, submit them with your application. It just shows your motivation. It shows that you've been successful and that you are improving, and it shows us that you're committed to the process. So absolutely. please submit those and make sure they're detailed. A lot of the time when I'm looking through people's fitness logs, they don't have the pin test scoring on it. So again, what I like to see when I look at somebody's fitness log is that they are trying the pin test, that they are marking down their scores. And if you're not at 75% when you first begin, that's fine. Just keep practicing, keep doing them. These are all tests that can be done from your home. Okay. So this isn't fitness related, but how long does it typically take to hear back after submitting your application? So it all depends. We normally get back to you pretty soon after you apply, as long as everything is submitted properly. We will let you know that we've received your application, and then after that you will receive a file number. So that's the number that you will reference throughout the whole recruitment process. When you're doing your shuttle run, if you choose to do a video, you're going to say, "Hi, my name is Caitlin Good, and I'm file number." You'll provide us with your file number, so 2025 12345, and you'll refer to yourself as that file number throughout the process. So you should hear within the next few days after applying if everything's good, and we will provide you with a file number if everything has been successfully submitted and you have met all the minimum requirements. So I have somebody asking about the minimum for the 2.4 kilometer run. So again, the 2.4 kilometer run is something that's completed on the pin test. It depends on your age. It depends on your gender. It depends on what your other scores are. So the 2.4 kilometer run is worth the most in the scoring matrix for the pin test, meaning that it's 50% of your mark. So you will have to get at least, we'll say 50% on that test if you get 100% on the rest of it. So it just depends on where you're at with your other areas in the pin test. But there is a scoring matrix that we do give you a link to so that you can have a look online. I believe there's a website that you can go to as well. It's www.pfpo.org, and that will take you to the pin test scoring matrix, which you can see for your age, your gender, and you can find out where you rank in that area. So once we complete the fitness qualifications, do we have a standard to maintain it during your career? That's a good question. So of course, it's super important to keep up your fitness throughout your career. I know myself, I try to do the pin test every year and successfully get it. Again, it's not mandatory, but it's great to see. We love to see that you're getting your pin test yearly, but it is not a minimum requirement. Again, yearly we do our block training, so that's our yearly maintenance training that we do. Consist of about a week of scenarios and like a shortened training that you would do from the Ontario Police College. You do get an opportunity to do your pin test during that time, and if you're successful, you will receive a pin that you can put on your uniform. Being from the far northern region, do you have any recommendations for an information session since none are currently being offered locally? Yeah, absolutely. So any of the information sessions that we have online, we have a lot of virtual ones that we do post online. Have a look at those, join in. Regularly, we will have recruiters from all over the province that will be talking to you about a career in policing. Also, when you're going through the application process, once you've submitted your application, we do send out invites for you to partake in Northern information sessions to learn about the North, where we do have officers from all over the province, and specifically Northeast and Northwest region, that will talk about their different areas. that will talk about policing in the north. I know for a lot of people that apply from the GTA, maybe they've never been north of Barrie or Sudbury. So it can be a little different than being or living in the GTA. So it is important to do your homework. Another option for you is to reach out to a detachment. If you're interested in applying to a Northeast or Northwest region detachment, you can always reach out and ask to speak to an officer that's local there about the area. And a lot of the time, there will be somebody that would be willing to talk to you about that. We also have a lot of videos that are on our social media about the North. So have a look at our Instagram, have a look at our Facebook social media pages. We do have little clips about different detachments and different areas in the Northeast and Northwest. So have a look at that. But again, we do have Northeast and Northwest region information sessions that do take place in the Northeast, Northwest. We also have shuttle run events. Go to one of these events when you see them in your area and speak to a recruiter. That's what we're here to speak to you about. So somebody's asking if women get modified push-ups. Yes, I believe in the video it showed you that females do have modified push-ups when doing the pin test. So you are able to go on your knees. You've got to make sure that your feet are together, and you do a push-up like anyone else with your hand shoulder width apart, up and down, with your chin hitting the ground. So it's the same as the male side of the house, just your knees are down on the ground. So that is an option. So is fitness reassessed during training at the Ontario Police College? And what happens if somebody struggles? Yes, fitness is reassessed at the Ontario Police College. Like I said, that's when you're going to have to pass the prep test. And it is mandatory that you do pass that. So it is being assessed the whole time you are there. You will have PT classes with the rest of your class where you will be doing physical fitness and working on your prep test. So it will be continuously assessed. And if somebody's struggling, ask for help. If you're struggling, your instructors will obviously notice if you are struggling and hopefully provide you with some supports, but ask for help if you feel that this is somewhere or an area that you do struggle in, and they will give you some supports to set you up for success. Okay. What are common mistakes applicants make during the fitness stage, and how can I avoid them? So I don't know if you're referring to the shuttle run. When you're completing the shuttle run, one area that I notice is that people will run through the end lines. So they will run either past that 20 meter or 0 meter line at the end and then turn around and run back. The best thing you can do is pivot, is to reach your outside foot to touch that line, then quickly turn to the side and start running the other way. My suggestion is do it with somebody that's done it before. People get really good at pacing. If you know anyone that's in a police or police foundations program, or if you know somebody that's done it many times, go with them and they'll help you pace yourself. If you consistently run throughout the whole shuttle run, I myself find it's easier versus sprinting, stopping, waiting to hear the beat, then running again. I find that's more challenging on my body. It obviously depends on the person. If you're more of a sprinter, then maybe that's more for you. But if you know somebody that's done it before and they've got good timing, they've got good pacing, go do it with them. They can more than likely help you out. As well, come to our events. We have recruiters, we have recruitment ambassadors, we have constables, we've got sergeants, we've got cadets, auxiliary members that come to these events and go to these events and help you be successful. We'll give you the tips and tricks there, and we can give you some examples and show you how it's done. And it's easier with more people. I find when I go to an event, I get all pumped up and I get excited to run it with somebody else versus running it on your own. Sometimes that can be a challenge. So go to these events, talk to our recruiters. So the other part of that question, so mistakes that applicants make during the fitness stage. So your fitness logs, make sure that you are filling them in monthly and make sure that you are uploading them to your application, because we will be looking at these fitness logs, because we want to make sure that you are going to be successful at the Ontario Police College and that you are working on your physical fitness, and that this is not something new to you, that you take pride in your physical fitness, you take pride in being able to have the strength needed for the career. Okay. Is first aid and CPR a mandatory application requirement? And yes, it is. That's one of our minimum requirements. So have a look at our website, opp.ca/careers. We have all of our minimum requirements listed under the regular recruit tab. So just have a look there and it will tell you exactly what you need just to put in your application for it to be submitted. So from your personal experience, can you speak to what was most difficult for you in regards to the fitness requirements, and how did I overcome that challenge? That's a good question. So you know what, it depends on the person for sure. I find myself that it's easier for me to run the 2.4 kilometer run than it is for me to do the shuttle run and get a good score on it. So again, I spoke about it at the beginning that the shuttle run for some people is more of a challenge, or some people it's the 2.4 kilometer run. Just depends on the person. To overcome it, just practicing. Practice makes perfect for sure. For the fitness logs, other than the pin test, how can I add more detail? So you can add more detail by making sure that you put down exactly how far you're running, what your time is. You can put down if you're participating in, say, a CrossFit workout, or if you're just going to the gym and doing your upper body one day, put down exactly what you're doing during the strength training exercise. Put down if you're playing on a team, or if you're coaching a team, or if you're going for a skate, or whatever you're doing. Make sure that you write down what you're doing. There's different areas. I'm just going to look at it right now. There's different areas here that you can add and print this out. I find the best thing you can do is print out this fitness log, bring it to the gym with you, write down exactly what you're doing. And you can obviously add more pages to this, and maybe add a blank page and tell us exactly what you're doing daily. That works as well. Somebody's asking what the highest level I've seen somebody get on the shuttle run. So I believe that was level 12 that I saw somebody get at one of our events last year. So you know what, when you go to these shuttle run events, we allow you to run past level 7 at many of them. So as long as there's no issue with time at the event, go to these events, get level 7 and go past it. We love to see people that are challenging themselves, that they have great physical fitness, that they're good at running, and that's not an area that they're going to struggle in. So we do write that down. Whatever score you get at these events, we are aware of that, and we will take that into consideration for sure. And even on the video that you send in, we will have a look. Once you pass level 7, we'll continuously look at it, and we will mark down your levels. So don't just stop at level 7. If you can go further, we love to see that. So if I've taken police foundations but have not had a university degree, will I be deferred from a higher rank, for example, being a constable? No, not at all. Sir, I see your message there. When you apply, our minimum requirement is your Ontario Secondary School Diploma. That's minimum. So if you have that diploma or something that's equivalent to that Ontario Secondary School Diploma, you can apply to the OPP. Obviously, if you've taken police foundations, or you have any experience in university, you've got a diploma or a degree, that's great. That's extra and above and beyond what our minimum requirement is. Let us know exactly what you have, what you took. We want to know about that. And that will not hold you back from being a detective. We will train you. We provide you with different courses to succeed. If you're interested in being a detective, or you're interested in being a breath tech, or you're interested in canine or the emergency response team, there are courses that you can take throughout your career to get involved in those different areas, specialty areas. So you don't need any previous knowledge of it, and we will teach you everything you need to know for that. So are there any accommodations or alternative assessments for candidates with medical conditions or injuries? So if you're applying and you've got medical condition or an injury, let us know. Obviously, when you're completing the shuttle run, we get you to do the PARQ, and we do all your vitals. We will be going through that, as well as throughout the process, you will have to fill out a medical form and get your doctor to sign off, as well as get your eyes checked, things like that. So there are medical forms that you will have to get filled out, and there are minimum requirements. There are OACP requirements as well. So make sure that you meet those minimum requirements before applying, or if you need to wait until your injury heals, do that. We want to make sure that you're at your competitive best when you apply. Of course, we understand that injuries do happen. We are all people outside of applying for a job, whether you get injured playing a sport or just in everyday life, things happen. Let us know throughout the process. Keep us up to date. Again, communication is key throughout the process. Let your backgrounder know, or send us an email throughout the process. We'll give you an email address to keep us up to date with any changes in your health, or if you get any tickets or anything that happens while you're in the process, keep us up to date, because if you don't tell us, we won't know. And if we offer you employment and then all of the sudden you tell us, well, I can't go right now because I've got this injury, we need to know that, because we will need to accommodate you and maybe push you through to the next class if you are unable to attend the one that you were set up to go to. So is a shuttle run certificate valid for my application? It was completed with another police service in Ontario. No. So when you apply, when you attend one of our OPP shuttle run events, our certificate that we provide to you is good for our service. If you attend a service or a shuttle run event with another service, you can use it for that service, or whoever else will accept it. But we specifically need you to either send in a shuttle run video to our email address that we send to you, or we need you to attend one of our shuttle run events and receive a certificate that's specifically OPP. Somebody's asking about ride-alongs. I know this is a hot topic. Again, if you are in the process with specifically the OPP, we've received your application, you're somewhere in the process with us, whether you're getting an interview or you're in background, if you need to reach out to your local recruiter, or reach out to local detachment, see if they will offer one to you. Some detachments are able to. It just depends on how busy they are, the detachment commander. Again, but reach out to a recruiter in your area, whatever region you're in, and we will try to set something up for you if you are in the process with us. Is there mentorship or peer support available for applicants who want guidance on fitness or preparation prior to going to the Ontario Police College? Fitness is in your hands. So again, we do these shuttle run events throughout the province. We try to have them at least monthly all over the province. I know that when you're in the Northeast and Northwest, I know that there's not as many shuttle runs that are within 2 to 5 hour radius of where you are. But hey, if you're in the North, you're used to driving far to go to events. But we do have events all over the province. I know in Sudbury monthly, we do have shuttle run events. Go to these, prepare yourself. Some of these events, the colleges will have prep equipment set up. If that's something that you're concerned about, not knowing what it is or not trying it out before you go to the Ontario Police College, go to a shuttle run event. Some do have that prep equipment set up. We do have sometimes college professors that help people out and give demonstrations. But overall, just keep working at it throughout the process. If you are struggling in the fitness, let us know. But we want to make sure that you are preparing yourself and you are at your competitive best in all of the 10 areas of assessment before you do apply. So can applicants with prior military or law enforcement experience bypass certain physical requirements, or must everyone complete them? So if you're applying as an experienced police officer, that is not one of the things that, although we will ask you potentially about fitness, you are not required to send it in a shuttle run video when you're applying as an experienced police officer. But that doesn't mean we're not going to look at that area of assessment, because that is one of the 10, but it's not a mandatory requirement. So are there practice sessions or mock fitness tests available to applicants before the official evaluation? Absolutely. When you're going to the Provincial Police Academy, when you're going to the Ontario Police College, there's going to be plenty of opportunities to do the prep test. Don't stress out about that. The best thing that you can do is practice your running, do the pin test. If you're successful in achieving at least level 7 in the shuttle run, you should be totally fine doing the prep test. We will give you lots of tips and tricks at the Ontario Police College. The PT instructors, they will help you out. They will do what they need to do to make sure that you are successful. There will be plenty of opportunities, but whatever you put into it is what you're going to get out. So make sure that if you are struggling at the beginning, you start getting help right away. You were only there for a certain period of time. It doesn't give you 6 months to work on it. You have to successfully complete that to get your diploma from the Ontario Police College. So we have a non-fitness related question. What should a student in grade 10 focus on right now if they want a career with the OPP? Okay, so as a grade 10 student, I would suggest that you look at our 10 areas of assessment. Look at our on our website. Make sure that you're volunteering your time throughout high school. Make sure that you're getting good marks in school, because we will look at your high school marks as well as any marks after that. You can take anything you want in college and university. Obviously, if you take, a lot of people ask, do I have to take police foundations? No, you don't. But that could give you some, obviously, background knowledge in law, in defense and tactics. Might give you some opportunities to try the prep test and the pin test, things like that. But you don't have to take that. So again, if you're in grade 10, get involved, be a leader in your community, do community service, do well in school, and just really get involved, because that's what we're going to be looking at. Again, look at those 10 areas of assessment. Make sure that you get experience driving. Make sure that you get your G license. Get your G1 right away, then get your G2 when you can, and then get your full G so that you can get lots of good driving experience on all different kinds of roads throughout the province. And get comfortable driving, because as a police officer, we have to multitask continuously. So that would be listening to your radio, that would be driving a car, and you also have a tablet, a screen in front of you that will show you how you're getting to a call and where the call is, and information will be coming up on there while you're driving. So there's multiple things going on all at once that you need to really be able to multitask while you're driving. So you know what, in the end, work hard, do well in school, and get involved in your community. Somebody's saying they're going to PPA in December, and any advice or tips? Congratulations on being offered a career with the OPP. That's great news. Tips and tricks. You know what? Just be open to learning a lot. Make sure that your fitness is on par. I know it's very soon. You should be heading there in the next week or so. So that's great. But make sure that you're willing to try hard, you're open to learning, and that you are mentally and physically ready to go. So are there any recommended timelines for training? So how many weeks before the test should applicants begin conditioning. So fitness is not a sprint, it's a marathon, as they say. You need to make sure that you live a lifestyle that's really, that you really care about your fitness. As a police officer, you're going to be pushed to make fast decisions. You're going to have to be able to perform tasks safely, effectively. You're going to have to make quick decisions of, like, when you're under physical stress. You're going to have to maintain your stamina throughout a long shift. So there's all these different things that you need to worry about. Make sure that you are mentally and physically prepared for when you're going to the Ontario Police College, for when you're applying. Be at your competitive best. That's my suggestion to you. So timelines, you're physically in shape before you go, of course, before you even apply. Fitness is very, very important. And we really take into consideration your commitment, of course, your preparation and your professionalism throughout the actual application process. So make sure that you're filling out those fitness logs, that you're doing them monthly, that you have your 2 weeks initially submitted with your application. What if somebody struggles with or passes the shuttle run but struggles with the circuit portion of the prep? Is there partial completion considered? No, it's a pass or fail. So you need to make sure that you are able to hit that level 7 minimum on that shuttle run. And if so, you should be able to successfully pass that prep test. Again, you're going to be given many opportunities to do the prep test while you're at the Ontario Police College, and we want you to succeed. So we will do everything we can to help you out. So I'm going to take one last question here. Just looking to see if we've got a good one here about fitness before we go. And I see Andrew Pierce is the one that's heading to PPA. Congratulations, Andrew. So Rob's asking, he's in the process of completing his application. He has his reference letters. He's got his educational reference letters, and he's just asking, what would you recommend for educational references? So, Rob, if you've been out of school for a while, that's totally fine. Your educational learning and development references don't have to be teachers from, say, high school. It's better if they're more recent. So if you hold a full-time job, if there's yearly training that you do, if there's an instructor, anything like that, you can use somebody that can be a reference for learning and development in that way. It doesn't have to be a teacher that marked you in high school or college or university, especially if you've been out for a while. We'd rather more recent learning and development educational references than somebody from, say, 20 years ago. So it could be somebody you work with. It could be you're doing community service and somebody taught you how to do something. So that's totally fine. It's just somebody that can speak to your ability to learn and to take on new jobs, things like that. So don't stress out, Rob, if you've been out of school for a while. I'm sure you'll be able to brainstorm and find someone that can be a learning and development reference for you. So again, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. I hope I answered all your questions that you had regarding fitness and your application. Again, tune in next week, or sorry, in 2 weeks, and we'll have our next Ask Me Anything. But again, make sure that you're consistently doing your fitness logs. Make sure that you're practicing your shuttle run. If you have an opportunity somewhere to do the prep test before you go to the Ontario Police College, that is a great thing. But overall, just make sure that you are being physically active and you're at your competitive best when you press submit on your application.